All right, guys, welcome to the JFFL 2024 post draft review. Um, I'd like to thank everyone who attended the draft for attending. It was a really good time. I think everyone did pretty good. I don't think anyone really did awful. I think there are still some teams who are better than other teams, but I don't think anyone really lost the draft. I'll say that. But all right, I'll get into it. I'm gonna rank everyone, starting from the bottom, and I'll go all the way up. So, kicking it off, who I think has the worst team this year. I'm sorry, but it's gonna be Owen. It's not for the fact that he auto drafted portions of his team, but and the first round pick, but I'll uh I'll pull up his team real quick and go. I'm not gonna do this with everyone, but I'll go through Owen's team just to see because I remember just not liking his team. What am I in right now? Oh, I'm in the pool. That was throwing me all off. Okay. Kyler Murray. I like him this year. Kamara. He's not that good. He just gets volume. Aaron Jones. Don't like him this year. St. Brown. He's good. Devontae. I don't like the QB, and he's already kind of hurt, so don't love the pick. McBride should be good. Should be very good. Godwin, not a fan of Godwin. And then his bench is Brock Purdy, Ray Davis, Zach Moss, Warren, Lockett, and Musgrave. I think that's a really bad bench. I don't love like half his starters, and I don't like his bench, so that's why I'm ranking him at 12. Sorry, Owen. Second worst team in my opinion. It wasn't super close between 12 and 11, but I'm giving 11 to Tim. I know Tim's probably so upset right now that I gave him the 11th and bad mouthing his team, but oh, look at that. He actually plays Owen. Jared Goff, Rashad White, Zamir White, CD, Drake London, George Kittle, Zay Flowers. Then his bench is Caleb Williams, Aaron Rod. Why do you have 3 QBs? That's a waste. Gus Edwards, Charbonnet, Christian Kirk, and Shakir. I don't let you have 3 QBs, and I dislike all of them for fantasy wise. Rashad White, I don't think is that good. He's extremely inefficient. And I think there's like that rookie behind him now that I think he's going to start cutting into some of his work. Zamir White, I think he could be a good player, but like they have a shit offense, so I'm not expecting good things out of him. CD, it's going to be very good. Drake London, I like London, but I don't know. He's never had like an amazing season yet, and Kirk Cousins coming off of that injury, it's a little too risky. George Kittle just very boomer bust every week, and I don't like Zay Flowers this year. But and then his bench, Christian Kirk is probably his best bench player, but outside from that, I don't like his team that much. Sorry, Tim. But let's see. I said I wasn't going to go through everyone's team. I'm now just going to go through everyone's team. Third, or the third worst team, I'm going to give that the number 10 spot. And he's going to be upset. We're going to give it to Sean. I think Sean has 3 really solid guys, and the rest of the team is eh. He has Mahomes, good. He didn't really do great for fantasy last year. He might do better with his better weapons this year, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to be like the number one QB this year, even though he was drafted as the number one QB by Sean. McCaffrey, I mean, he's a stud as long as he stays healthy, and he's already hurt. Najee, he's not good. He has a better season, but like I just don't think he's a good running back. Um, Michael Pittman, it's not him I don't like. It's I watched Anthony Richardson throw football in the preseason, and I didn't want any of their players. I think that's going to be a bad offense, and I don't think he's going to have that great of a year. DJ Moore, I like Moore. I just don't think he's going to have as good of a year as some people are thinking. But like I think their offense in the preseason, like they did a lot of 3-and-outs whenever their starters were on. So I don't know. It could be good, but I don't love it. Travis Kelce, I think he's gonna have a good year, unless they keep reducing his snaps like they do every season. Is it snaps or targets? I don't know, but they keep declining his percentage that he gets. Jameson Williams, he could be in for a good year, but that's an if. He could just do what he's done the last year and the year before, and just like not really much at all. Sean has Dalvin Cook. It's not a good pick. J.K. Dobbins, I like it, but I don't know. He'll probably be good for a week, if that. No one get hurt. Rico Dowdle, don't love it. I don't really want any Cowboys running back. DeAndre Hopkins, I didn't like him last year. I didn't like him this year. T.J. Hawkinson won't be playing for a while, and Sean has two guys on the pup list. He's got Nick Chubb, who won't be playing for a while. And he's got T.J. Hawkinson, who won't be playing for a while. Both guys, they're coming back week 4. They're not coming back Both of them are not going to be coming back week 4. Maybe one, I don't know, but definitely not both, which he keeps saying. But yeah, Sean, you're 10. Damn, I'm already 7 minutes in. I'm going to start speeding this up a little bit. Number 19. Give it to Mike. This was the range that I think 9 through 6. I was like, they're all pretty similar. It's just a preference that who I think might do slightly better, but I think these next couple teams are relatively even. Mike's got Jordan Love, ETN, Montgomery, which Montgomery's the backup at the moment, but he'll probably get touched. He'll definitely get touchdown work. Oh shit, my phone's dying. Garrett Wilson, he could be awesome as long as Rodgers has a good year, but he's 42, coming off a bad injury, so that's why I passed on him. But I was heavily debating, so I'm not gonna shit talk him or anything. Waddle, he's always hurt. He seems like he's hurt every game, coming off the field. It's annoying. Mark Andrews can't really stay healthy. Cooper Kupp been hurt a lot. So that's 3 guys in a row: Waddle, Andrews, and Kupp. That's why I put Mike at 9, because he has a handful of guys that could just go down at any point. They're just kind of injury prone. All right. Next up, I have Chris at 8. Here we go. Chris, Dak Prescott, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift. I like Dak for fantasy. Derrick Henry, I like a lot. Apparently, they came out and said they want to still be using Justice Hill. I have no idea how true that is, but I don't know. I think Henry might decline a little bit this year, and he didn't really have a good year last year, so I don't like DeAndre Swift. I'm not a fan of that pick. Jefferson, he's good. Sam Darnold is not good, so we'll see how that works. I was so happy Chris picked him at Chris was at 9. I was at 10. I'm so happy Chris went Justin Jefferson because I felt like I would have had to pick Jefferson at 10 since he fell all the way to me. I really didn't want to. Debo, he could have a good year. It would have been better if Ayuk left, but he'll have a solid year. Kyle Pitts, I'm not even going to comment. I mean, I will comment, but it's supposed to be his year every year, and it never is. So I hope it's his year. Probably won't be, but I hope it is. Tank Dell, I just think there's too many guys there to really love that pick. Eckler, I don't like that pick. T. Johnson, I don't know who that is. Is he a third string running back for Buffalo? I don't know. I think that's a bad pick or pickup. Oh. Khalil Herbert, he's the backup. So he has Swift and Herbert, who I think they'll be splitting, or at least like some kind of committee. I don't like that. Adonai Mitchell, not a bad pick. Jacoby Myers, not a bad pick. Dallas Goedert probably won't do that good this year. Just because how many weapons we have. But yeah, that's my opinion on Chris. That's why Chris is 8. Not bad guys, just like didn't love his team. Number 7, I have Cody. So I have to keep sliding. I'm also on 3%, so I'm gonna have to cut this short a little soon. Cody, CJ Stroud. I think he should be good. He should have a good year. He should have a very good year. Pacheco. I liked it more before they signed Pirine. Makes me think they don't have a ton of confidence, at least in the passing game. So I like that pick more like 2 weeks ago. James Cook. I like James Cook. I wish they gave him goal line work and like red zone stuff. They just don't like to, and I think that's what Ray Davis is going to do this year. So not in love with it, but like I was between Cook and Mixon at the end of the third in every mock draft. Both went at the beginning of the third, so everyone just wanted running backs this draft. Tyreek, great pick. Neighbors could be very good, but he has Daniel Jones throwing to him, so probably not going to be that good. Brock Bowers, rookie tight end. And he's already kind of hurt. I don't think it might take later in the season. I like Bowers, but to start him early on, I think is very risky. Rashee Rice, that's a good pick. Jay Wright, is that rookie? I don't know. Maybe if A-Chain goes down. Zeke, don't love it. Polk, not bad, but that's like a more later on in the season. Hopefully it pays off. Leggett, same thing. Keenan Allen, don't like that one. Jordan Addison, don't like it. Same reason as Jefferson. I don't like Sam Darnold in there. All right, so that was number 7, Cody. Was I saying Chris this whole time? It was number 7, Cody. Now who I think is going to make playoffs. Let's go with the number 6 team. I'm going to give it to Jay. Jay has Joe Burrow, who could be good. I don't think he's going to light up fantasy, but I think he'll be solid. Jahmyr Gibbs. I think Gibbs is awesome. I think Montgomery takes too many touchdowns away from him. And he's also coming in with a hamstring, so that could linger. Who knows? Jonathan Taylor. I think he'll be fed a ton. I just don't think their offense is going to be very good. Brandon Ayuk. I liked him last year. He's like a solid wide receiver too. Devontae Smith. Obviously, I like Devontae Smith, but again, that's a wide receiver too. Njoku. He should be good. I don't really trust Deshaun Watson throwing, but like he did good last year. But also, I don't think that was with Joe Flacco. That wasn't Deshaun Watson. I think Njoku does bad with Watson in, but we'll see. T. Higgins. should have a good year, but again, he's a wide receiver too. Chris doesn't have any wide receiver ones on his team. That is, is Jay? Why do I keep saying Chris? That's why Jay I have at 6. I like he has a good team. And I like his bench. Like it's all guys who could pan out. I'm gonna start speeding up a little bit. I won't go through the whole bench, but yeah, the not having a single wide receiver one is why I dropped him to 6. Number 5, I'm giving to Carl. Jake, I almost read your team because you named your team Carl. Where the hell is Carl's team? Here we go. Anthony Richardson. I think he's only going to be good fantasy-wise for running. He's bad at throwing. Kyron Williams, the punt returner, scares me. He could have a really good year, but apparently they love the rookie backup. Jerome Ford, he's okay. A.J. Brown, I think it's a good pick. Chris Olave, I think he's talented. I think Derek Carr is not a good QB, and I think that's going to hurt Olave like it has every year. I don't love that pick. Ingram should get a good amount of targets. Mike Evans could have another really good year, so I like that pick for where it was at. Mostert as a bench player, really good. Javonte Williams, bench player, really good. Brian Thomas, Darnell Mooney, Josh Palmer. Carl might have the best bench of anyone. I question some of the starters, but he's got depth. We'll see. But yeah, Carl's at 5. Who's next? I got Harry at 4. Here we go. Tua, Infinity, and Bijan. He's got Tua, who he should do good if he doesn't die. Bijan should be a monster, but they still want to use Algier. And I kind of got screwed on Bijan last year, so I like Bijan. I hope he works out, but you never know. Josh Jacobs should do good for the first couple weeks since he's the only running back they have at the moment, pretty much. But once that rookie comes back, I think he's going to start cutting in. So I think that's an early season good pick. I don't know about later. Nico Collins could be a good pick, could not be a good pick. We'll see. I think there's too many receivers over there. Metcalf should have a very good year. I like the Metcalf pick. Schultz, I don't. That's probably my least favorite of his starters. I don't really like Schultz. Kenneth Walker, I think is a great pick. Especially as a running back 3. And then he's got Jaden Daniels, it's a good backup. Tyler Algier, handcuff. Jordan Mason, the San Fran backup. Only relevant if McCaffrey goes down. Worthy could have a decent year. Keon Coleman could have a decent year. And McLaurin could have a decent year. So we'll see. But I like his starters are pretty good. His bench is a lot of question marks, but it's a pretty solid team. Number 3. I don't know if you guys were expecting me to put me at 1, but I'm putting myself at 3. Jalen Hurts, I think he's going to have an awesome year. Saquon, same thing. I think he's going to have an awesome year. James Conner, if he stays healthy, could be a top 8 running back or something like that. That's if he stays healthy. I don't think he ever really stays healthy, but we'll see. Hopefully he can last half the season, and then if he goes down, I'll have Jonathan Brooks after he gets back. Puka, I shit talk on Puka all leading up to the draft, and then he fell to me in the second, and I just kind of had to take him. Should have a good year, just with Kupp coming back healthy, and then wanted to run the offense through him. It scares me a little bit. George Pickens, the way I view it, he's a number 1, and he's the best, and they don't have a ton of options over there. So I think he's just getting a lot of work. Kincaid, love the pick. I think he's gonna contend for like their top target. Jaden Reed, he could have a good year. He lit it up at the end of last year. Even if Christian Watson's in there, I think he could contend for the number 1 spot. Kirk Thuggins, everyone loves him. Tajay Spears, I don't love, but if I need a guy, he can at least put up some points. Brandon Cooks, he's the number 2. He could do something. And Jackson Smith and Jigba could have a very good year. I think he's going to overtake Lockett this year. Isaiah Likely, only relevant if Andrews goes down. And I already have Kincaid, so I'm not really going to play him. And then I have Jonathan Brooks on my IR. He'll come back about week 4, and then he should be a stud. Number 2 team. I'm giving the number 2 to Jake. Jake's got Lamar, good fantasy-wise. A-Chain, potential to just go nuclear. Joe Mixon, I think, is going to have a very good year this year. Jamar Chase, once he signs, awesome pick. Amari Cooper, he's the number 1. I don't love Deshaun Watson throw to him, but he gives Kupp a good amount of targets when they do play together, so that's good. Ferguson, solid tight end. Pollard, don't like that pick. Chuba Hubbard, only good like the first couple weeks, and then Jonathan Brooks is coming back, and then he's going to lose his job. Ladd McConkey, love that pick. We're very upset Jake got him before I could. I don't even know who Veli is, just some Denver wide receiver. Probably should drop him. He's worthless. Sutton, I wanted him, so I think that's a good pick. Gabe Davis, no, he's probably going to be the same Gabe Davis is always, like, maybe a good week here and there, but then, like, shit. And he has Ricky Pearsall, the guy who got shot. Yeah, maybe he comes back. And then I think who has the best team is James, surprisingly. I think from last to first this year, James has Josh Allen, Breece Hall, Devin Singletary. When the hell did he switch to Devin Singletary? Marvin Harrison, Stephon Diggs, Sam Laporta, Calvin Ridley. I think his starting lineup is scary. Allen's obviously good. He just gets, I mean, he's just always good. Breece Hall is a monster. Singletary, I don't love, but, I mean, he's the starter. He'll get work. But it's on a really bad offense. So kind of same thing with like Zamir White. I think he'll get a lot of work, but I think it's not a good place to be. Marvin Harrison could have a very good year. Stephon Diggs, same thing I said with those other 3 guys. I don't love how many guys there are there. He could have a good year. He could not. We'll see. Sam Laporta should have an awesome year. Calvin Ridley, I think, is going to have a very good year. I wanted Calvin Ridley. McLaughlin could see a good amount of work this year. Trey Benson, hopefully he never gets used once because James Conner stays healthy. Ramondre Stevenson, it's a very good backup running back to have. Mike Williams, don't love it, but it's fine. Curtis Samuel, don't love it. Christian Watson could fight for the number 1 with Jaden Reed, but yeah, those are my rankings. We'll see how it plays out. But just to throw it out there, last year my number 1 pick won the league, so I don't know. James, you should be in for a good year. But all right, good luck to everyone in week 1.